Hi everyone, Eileen here from the design team with another video tutorial for you. I'm sharing this Christmas card with you today. I've created a wreath, as you can see, using some inks, of course, and a tiny mini holly stamp. To add interest, I've used part of the Divine Stencil in the background from the Lavinia Stamps Stencil sets. But the beautiful Tia fairy, she takes centre stage. There's more to tell you about, but let me do that as we go along. I have a piece of multifarious cardstock in white, and it is a 13 centimetre by 13 centimetre square. That's my topper, and then I'm going to use one of these Lavinia Stamps moon masks, or rather this is a stencil, this one, because I'm using the negative. And just popping that over the top of the square, going to centre it up. It looks blue, but it is clean, honest. All right, pop that down the roundabout there. Doesn't matter if it isn't absolutely spot on, because the wreath might be a bit wonky anyway. let's see how I go with that. Okay. All fingers and thumbs today. That should do me. Right, bit of tape to hold it. Versafine Clair Warm Breeze, blue stencil brush, lots of ink on this brush already, so I don't really want to go mad with this blue. So I'm just going to do around the outside, circular motion over the whole thing, but try and leave the middle sort of wispy white, if you know what I mean, so that Tia has somewhere to spotlight her as she takes centre stage. A bit more blue though, and then a bit more around the outside. That should do it. Oh yes, perfect. Look at that. Now I'm going to use my stamp mat underneath, and I'm going to stamp this mini holly. You'll find this in the pound section. Such a useful little stamp this is. Right, Versafine Clair Shady Lane, mini holly, and a dry cloth, because I don't want to get any ink around the outside of the block, because that is as a hiding to nothing, because it just gets all over the card. So got to be very careful of fingers and of the block itself. So I've inked up, and then it's 1, 2 off, and then following the shape of the circle, just going around the outside, 1, and they are touching each other, these leaves. 3, ink up again. Check the block, fingers, 1, 2, and then again. You're getting the picture now, I'm sure. 2, 3. Some will be darker than others, that's fine. So it's about 3rd generation onwards. 3rd, 4th, 5th. Some there. Right, so that's my first layer. Then I'm going to just pop in couple, I'm taking off one generation of the ink, and then here and there, not joining up, not all the way around, I'm just popping in another green section of the wreath here and there. Now, I just don't want it to be, I think that will do, because I'm now going to add blue. So you've got different tones of green right the way round, but you're looking for an ethereal look. Posh word this time in the morning. I've had 2 cups of coffee, that's why. And I don't know what it means, but it just sounds good. So now I'm going on to blue. Enough waffling, Eileen. And the blue I'm using is Versafine Clair Twilight. Now this is a very rich colour, so I need to be careful again. So I'm going to take off just one generation, but quite heavily. And then I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not evenly spaced, don't worry about that. 4, 5, about half a dozen, like so. And then I'm going to ink up again with the blue, and then 1, 2, 3, and then where there is a sort of a real light gap, I've got a bit of ink there, I'll get that. I'm just going to pop some blue tone down here and there to fill in any gaps. I don't want to put too much more blue on though. I think that will do. It looks, I want it to look pale and interesting, and I've got ink everywhere. So I don't really want it to go over the top. So I think I'm going to stop there and get my trusty eraser out and clear up the mess I've made with my fingers. Okay, just wipe those off so I don't get any more on. So I've got one mark there, which comes off very easily. Good stuff. And then one here, which you can't see, but I can. And that's more stubborn because it was darker. Yeah, that will do. So that's the sort of look that you're looking for, sort of very, you know, it's there in the background, it's very pretty, but it isn't overpowering Tia. And she's next, but before I put Tia on, I'm going to use this again with the green, because I want to use a branch for Tia to sit on, and this will be the basis of that branch. So inking up with the holly stamp again, and then taking it off, one generation off, and then coming down, and then the next holly branch going across will be 3rd generation. So I've taken off 2 levels, and then just moving on across, and then up. I don't want it really joining up with that one, but that has given her a perch for the next stamp to go on. I'm a bit upset with this. I don't know why that's looking a bit blurred. So I'm going to see if I can... Oh, that's better. That doesn't look so bad. Right. Okay. Now, the next part of her chair, seat, whatever you want to call her, is Red Berry Wreath. Now this is beautiful, and if you use this, you can make a complete wreath with it. But I wanted to use the holly on this one, so I'm not using this part of the stamp, I'm using this smaller part, which fits in with this larger one to give it more bulk and depth and more interest, of course. So that's the main stamp. So Red Berry Wreath will give you this small branch. And that's what I'm using. So I have it now on the block already. Or I did. Where's it gone? Oh. Okay, who spotted that? Right. I am a Wally. I'm looking for this stamp on my desk and going into panic mode. And there it is. Oh dear. Well, I'm just testing you, okay? Right, let's ink this up quickly. So I'm now going to use black Nocturne, so it's a total contrast. See, you get me, warts and all, I tell you. I don't know why I don't do more lives. I mean, it's, I might as well. I make enough mistakes with these pre-recorded ones. Okay, so I'm inking up, but I'm taking off the ink from that end of the stem. Don't really want that. So I'm just going to pop that down at the front here. Like so. It's not all come out, that doesn't matter. As long as you've got, you can see it, which I can. And then I'm making sure that that stem is not got the ink on again. And then I'm going to pop this down here. So that now is the total seat, all ready, all comfy, ready for Tia. Before I bring Tia over, I'm going to put some of this stenciling in, just to add a bit more interest. This is from the Divine Stencil, and it is what it says on the can, Divine. And I'm going to put it on using some Versafine Clair Twilight ink. But now this is strong, that we said before, so I want to make sure I don't have too much of it on. And I'm going to pop very lightly. Oh, that wasn't so light. Might need to use the eraser now. And then I'm going to pop on some into the inside of the wreath and the rest along the bottom. Not right over to the left-hand side. Let's see what I've got. That's not too bad. It's a bit dark up here. So in that case... So I've got some here, as you can see. I've got ink there, which you shouldn't be seeing. I can get rid of that as well. Where's my eraser? So let's get rid of this first. All right, that's gone. Now this stenciling here is too overpowering for me. I wanted it to be fading out, so I'm going to use the eraser on it. This cardstock will take it, and the ink doesn't seem to mind. So it's just going to give me a fade out look, and while I'm at it, I'm going to take some of that away from there as well, so that that is in the background as it should be. There, that's better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I must have ink on my fingers again. I'm getting it everywhere again. Right, okay. As we were. So now it's stamp press and Tia. I'm using my Misty. so. And Tia. Here she is. She's all lovely and clean. I'm going to pop her down so that she's resting on that comfy seat that I've made for her. And she's just coming up a little bit, like so. You can always draw in a line if you find she's floating in midair. Then get a pencil and draw a line so that there's another branch. There's always ways and means, isn't there? I think, though, that she should be okay there. Right, let's go for that then. Make sure that's butted up against the side and down the bottom. And then Black Nocturne from Versafine Clair. Okay, let's go for it. She's perfect. Beautiful. Great stuff. Okay. So now I've got a couple of little bits to do. My eye is still catching this side and I'm not very happy with it. I have lost the definition of the holly leaves. So I'm going to sharpen a couple of them up with a crayon. I'm going to put in a little bit of crayon here as well so that that brightens those up. And this one here too. So if you've got uneven tones that you really do not like, crayons are your best friend. But you can overdo it. So then that's when your eraser becomes your best friend. That's not bad. Knock that back a bit. Knock that back just a smidge as well. But that's given me a more even tone. Great. Okay. So next it is gold. Do you know, I'm still getting my eye caught by that. I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to put another blue one in. Now this will either make me very happy or you won't see it because I shall start the video again. So I'm doing blue, twilight blue. No, yes, that's better, but it needs to even up now this side. Yeah. Oh, sorry that I'm being so fussy, but you know what it's like? It was just winding me up that it wasn't right, the wreath in that area. Okay. Now it is. Next, I'm going to add some blue and gold sparkle pen. So I'll start with the gold first, I think, and just going to pop in where the holly leaves are. So some I'm doing in gold. Talk amongst yourselves. I didn't realise there were so many berries here. They're all over the place. Okay, so I've got some gold. Now I'm going to do some blue ones as well. Blue sparkle. Just to pick them up. It's a bit random. That's fine. Some gold again. Couple of blue. Can't do them all golden because I've got some more gold to put on as well in the middle of the wreath. Oh, I'm glad I did that now with that blue part. I wonder how that's coming out. That looks much nicer. Yeah, it does look much nicer. Okay. Next, I'm using some gold paint. And this is that Sparks Dragon's Eye from Prima, from my stash. And I'm looking for something to stir it with. Oh, I know. I have my toolkit here, and I use embossing tools for applying the paint. A bit of a stir. Down we go. Oh, that's too thick. So I use the smaller end. And then these black berries on the end of that twig, I'm just going to use this gold paint to make them gold. And then also I'm going to give Tia some tiny little gold spots so that she's catching some stardust maybe in her hand. That'll do. Let's make a nice Christmas card. Now I'm not going to use a black Sharpie on the outside, but I am going to use a coloured pencil because I wanted it to be blue, the outside edge. So I've got one of my Polychromos pencils. I'm just going to run that down the edge to match the blue of the card. Just gives it a highlight. Like so. Okay. And I think that I'm done. I can't think that I missed anything. I did give the card another layer. Look, so you've got the topper, and then I did another layer, and I did edge in blue again, but I'll let you do that. But I think that everything else, I think I've done. So she will go on there. Right. So that's the card that I did earlier on. Let me get my whiteboard out here. So that's the card that I did earlier on. There's the one that I've just completed. Hopefully it's the same. And I hope that you enjoyed it, because I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. And I'll see you again very soon. Okay. Thanks for looking today. Any questions? Just leave me a comment in the YouTube section, and I'll get back to you. bye for now. Take care.